The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, welcome, 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 folks. It's David Newman, and you're in the right place for the strategic Do This Now Blueprint for 2019. So we still have a couple minutes here before the top of the hour, and I see we've got some folks streaming in. If you'd like to share this awesome, fantastic, amazing experience that we're about to have, blueprint19.com is where to share this out to your social networks. Give that a tweet, post that on Facebook, say, hey, gang, I'm spending the next 75 to 90 minutes in here making my 2019 awesome, and you should hop in here too. And the shortcut link, the easy link for you to share is blueprint19.com. So first question, can everybody see the screen, the title screen that has my smiling face, the blueprint19.com URL, the title, the blueprint in the background? I'm very, very specific about this because sometimes people see a gray box and they say, oh yeah, I can see your screen. So if you can see the screen, please just type yes in the question box, and we'll know that I'm not just talking to myself and talking to a blank screen. And let's see. Let me scroll down here. Morgan is here, as always, doing the behind-the-scenes coordination, making me look somewhat competent, somewhat smart, covers a multitude of sins. Trust me on that one. But just, Morgan, don't tell them.
I won't tell anyone.
Excellent. All right, let me open up. Where's the? There we. Man, it's been a while since I've been on GoToWebinar because we're using so many other platforms. All right, so terrific. Nancy says yes. Lewis and Elena and Kevin and Jim and Sarah and Liddy and Chris and Doug. Good to see you, Doug. Thomas here. The other Chris is here with a K. Totally fantastic. All right. I want to ask, even we've got, 60 seconds maybe till the top of the hour. If you could change one thing about your 2018, what would it be? In one or two words, I'd love to know that. If you could change one thing about your 2018, what would it be? Put that one or two words in the question box. I'm pretty sure we'll have some great things here for you to share related to those words, but I want to make sure that we keep this on track and customize and tailor it exactly for where you guys are and what you're doing and how this next investment of your next 75 to 90 minutes be of maximum value to you. All right. So we've got double revenue, more money, bigger audience, smoother workflow. I like that. Maybe less work or more of the right work. Be more committed to digital. Mindset. Wow, totally fantastic. I'm going to bet, and you guys that are typing in the box right now, you can correct me if I'm wrong here towards the end. I bet we're going to hit all of these. I bet we're going to hit all of these in some way, shape, or form to be very, very helpful to you. So let's make sure that starts happening right now. So the best way to get maximum value from this training is to do yourself a favor, shut off all distractions, close out of Facebook, close out of email, turn your phone to silent, close your office door, give yourself the gift of focused attention so that you can maximize your learning and maximize your doing as a result of what we share here together today. If you do that, I guarantee you will get a whole lot more value, economic value, time value, focus value, momentum value, revenue elevation and escalation value out of everything that we shared today. So I mentioned that you're in the right place. Let's make absolutely sure of that. This masterclass training is for anyone who sells their expertise, knowledge, or wisdom. And knowing who's on the call here and seeing the names as I see, you guys are in the right place. So what do I mean by that? Speakers, consultants, trainers, coaches, experts, authors, course creators, information marketers, folks that we lovingly call here at Do It Marketing speaking-driven professionals. So if you use your knowledge to solve a major business problem, this is for you. Now, because there are so many different primary business models, I'm going to ask you, which is your primary revenue generator? In other words, which of these four areas, speaker, consultant, coach, or trainer, do you generate the majority, meaning 51% of your revenue? I know that many of you do many of these things. Some of you do all of these things. But are you primarily generating speaking revenue right now? Put in speaker in the question box. If you're primarily generating consulting revenue, consultant. Coaching, put in the word coach. Training, put in the word trainer, so that I know who's here. And again, we can tailor and customize some of our conversation, including our big Q&A at the end, specifically to where you want to ramp things up and maybe even where you want to dial things down. Because maybe you're doing too much of one and you're finding that exhausting and you'd like to expand into one or more of the others. But right now, this is about what are you doing right now today? Primarily revenue from speaking, consulting, coaching, or training. And let's see if we have a bit of a quorum here. All right, the trainers and consultants are in the house. That's awesome. Sales training and coaching, trainer, consulting and consultant, training and consulting, a little bit consulting heavy, very interesting. So Carol and Amy and Eugene and let's see, scrolling back up to the top there. So speaker then coach, Margaret's doing consulting, Rich, another one in the consulting column, teaching college online. Interesting. Interested in learning. Okay, great. Yeah, speaking. Cool. Good. All right. Well, we're going to have something for everybody. But one of the primary decisions that I'm going to have you make, because this is your strategic blueprint, is where are you now in these 4 areas? Where would you like to go? And then using some of the strategies and tactics and mindset that we're talking about today, how can you get there with the shortest path and the quickest pace? That's what this is really about. You're all smart people. You would get there anyway. If I gave you 3 years and $5 million, you'd figure it out. But if you don't have 3 years and you don't have $5 million to waste on all kinds of crazy nonsense, what is the shortest path and the quickest pace that will get you where you want to go? Write that down somewhere. Maybe that's your guiding principle for where you are. Figure out the shortest path and the fastest pace that you don't need to wait 6 months to quote unquote get yourself out there. You don't need to wait a year until you have certain letters after your name or until some mythical book that you're never going to write is going to come out. A lot of people are waiting. They're waiting to get ready. They're waiting to be good enough. They're waiting to be smart enough. And the first mindset shift, because someone mentioned mindset, a couple people actually mentioned mindset is the magic thing you'd like to change. Stop waiting. Stop waiting around, guys. This is your moment. This is your time right here, right now, this day, this week, this month. There's nothing left to wait for to create the speaking-driven business that you've always wanted. Now, on that note, and we're going to keep this one anonymous, so I'm not going to call out names from anybody here. When you think about it and you reflect on 2018, are you 100% happy with your 2018 results? All I need is a yes or no, Y or N. And what I mean by that very specifically, if you want some things to think about, are you 100% happy with the quality and quantity of your leads that you're generating and the people that you're connecting with? Are you 100% happy with the clients, the caliber of clients, the fee level of clients that you're landing? And are you 100% happy with your revenue? Another way to ask this, as people are typing in furiously, Y, N, some yes, some no, etc. If 2019 shaped up exactly like 2018 in every single dimension, would you be happy? Would you be really upset and angry and kind of ticked off? Or would it be like, that's all right. I could do another 2018. Not great, not terrible, but it's okay. So where do you fall on that spectrum? If 2019, fast forward the clock, it's 12 months from now. If 2019 were exactly like 2018 in every conceivable measure and metric, would you be really upset? Would you be thrilled? Or would you be somewhere in the middle like, okay, that's all right. That's I'd. That's spelled A-I-G-H-T. I'd. That's I'd. All right, so let's get some answers here. So we have many no's, which is great because that's why you're here. So thank you guys for being honest. Thank you for being vulnerable. Obviously, if everything was peaches and cream and wonderful, you probably wouldn't need to hop on a masterclass and get advice from me. But so 90% yes, 10% no. I love that answer. Oh, God, no. Okay, fair enough. No, but just starting out. So that's excellent. So our no, but just starting out person doesn't need to worry. If 2019 were exactly like 2018, and I quote, that would suck, upset, nope, disappointed in myself, disappointed if another disappointed. Optimally, it should be better. If 2019 is exactly like 2018, be very disappointed. No, not happy. Okay. So, in other words, you guys have a good reason to be here. And I'm glad that you're here. Half and half. Someone says tolerable. Someone says not I, says Bappa. And Bappa is making sure that it's not I because we're already working together. So don't worry, my friend. It is not going to be I because it will not be the same as 2018. All right, good. Need more growth. First half sad face, last half happy face. That's my favorite answer with the two little emoji faces. First half, wah, wah. Second half, yay! All right, so let's make sure that the second half, for the folks that are happy with the second half, let's make sure it goes up and up and away from here. So I asked this question earlier of the couple early birds that were here a couple minutes before we started, but I'd love to hear from everybody now that we're all gathered together. What's the number one improvement in just one or two words? What's the number one improvement that you would like to make for 2019 and beyond? If you could fix one thing, if you could change one thing about your 2018 to make 2019 more awesome, more successful, more rewarding, more financially secure, what do you think that one thing for you in particular, what would that be? In just one or two short words, keywords, short phrases. Let's see what's the secret sauce? What's the magic bullet that you're missing? Man, I love these. Focus. Excuse me one sec. I'm going to take a little drink of tea here as I read. Focus. Lead generation. Totally fantastic. More money. Attracting better paying clients, more paid gigs, closing better, more revenue, systems, ready to go marketing, improving scale, paid speaking gigs, more effective with getting, where'd my mouse go? There it is. More effective when getting through to prospects, know my target audience, steady cash flow, huge, very important. Getting speaking venues and well-paid ones. I would rely less on others. I'm interested in that one. I'd rely less on others. Is that referrals? Is that subcontracting? What's going on there? Have more productive conversations with decision makers. Great. Connection to big influencers. Well, Laura, guess what? You're connected to me. So wish granted. How about that? Maybe Laura should have said bigger. Yeah, dude, this is great, but how about some bigger influencers? I'm just having some fun with you. Develop my paid speaking to add more revenue streams, get better at enrolling clients, higher paying gigs, consistent lead generation, and out from under the bureau. Out from under the bureau. That's not the desk. That's not the piece of furniture. That is the speaker's bureau. Just so everyone's clear that we don't have people here stuck under large, heavy pieces of furniture. All right, very, very good. Well, here's our game plan then. How to get more clients, gigs, how to improve all those things that you just said were important to you. A couple of roadblocks, some serious roadblocks that you need to be aware of because these are probably blind spots for you right now about why prospects are not hiring you. Number 3, how to avoid some sales and selling landmines. So we talk about better conversations, more closing, more sales. That's a direct hit on that one. Fees, my favorite topic. Fees, and money. And charging what you're worth, quoting it, and getting it consistently. And then increasing your reach and revenue, which is huge. and then some next steps to help you make it happen if you want to cross the finish line and make 2019 a really pivotal landmark year. Whether you did great or whether it was, half smiley face, half sad face, whether it was terrible and you'd never want to repeat 2018, even whether it was awesome and you'd love just a little bit more, bigger, amplify and magnify your success in 2018 to keep growing and scaling and improving. I mentioned that we are having a big Q&A at the end, so make sure to stick around for that. And I'm happy to answer any specific questions for you about what you're working on. And let's talk about some keys to more clients. Let's just start with dessert right here. Number one is having a marketing system and a sales system versus a random bunch of tactics. Now, there's a lot of people out there teaching speakers and consultants and authors and experts about marketing. The thing I've noticed, because I've bought most of them, if not all of them, is they're extremely tactical. And tactics without strategy is busy work. Tactics without strategy is busy work. You spend a lot of time throwing up a lot of white water, a lot of activity, feels good in the moment because you think you're being productive. What's missing? The most important thing, the results, the consistency, the pattern recognition is missing. So please, whether it's with us, whether it's with somebody else, whether it's with anybody, whether it's on your own, you need to adopt a systems and a process mindset and stop doing the flavor of the month craziness that comes across your desk and comes across my desk and comes across email and Facebook and everything else. Number two is multiple investable opportunities. Give buyers more than one way to buy you. And we're going to talk about that later. I'm just kind of setting the table here for some things that we're talking about. Number three is you have to start firing on all cylinders, meaning for some people, the front end of the funnel, in other words, the marketing, the outreach, the lead generation is awesome, but you can't get past the first conversation. For some people, and I've heard some of you say this because we got some clients and alumni on the call, they're like, man, I just need more first conversations. When I get a first conversation, I'm in. I have a 70 or 80% closing ratio. And so that's the problem in getting in. Some folks get all the way in, get all the way through, and then can't close the sale. You lose it in the negotiating. You lose it in the commitment phase. You lose it all kinds of places. That's what I mean. You have to be strong at the beginning, strong in the middle, and strong at the end. Strong during 2/3 of your marketing or sales cycle means that you're struggling and you're stuck in a rut and you're spinning your wheels, and you don't want that. Also, the more clients that you get and the more you get in condition, it magnifies your impact, and that's really, really important. For some of you, that may even be more important than the money piece. I know that for some of our most successful clients, they don't do it because of the money. They do it because of the impact. But the more impact they make, the money and the financial reward is a byproduct of the impact that they have and the value that they bring and the clients that they serve. And then, of course, starting to build on itself, starting to self-replicate and be a self-contained marketing system, you start to build momentum because now you know how it works. Now you've tasted success. Now you know what to repeat. Now you know what to increase. Now you know what to turn off. Now you know what to stop doing. You start to market. You start to leverage it. You start to expand it. And it just gets bigger and bigger and goes faster and faster. And frankly, it's easier and easier and it's more fun. Imagine if business development, marketing, sales, and client acquisition were actually fun. Wouldn't that be crazy? That'd be like crazy town in here. Well, for many of our clients, that's exactly what it is. And the good news is, like I said, it's time to stop getting ready to get ready. It's time to stop waiting, hoping, wishing, dreaming. You can get going on this right now, as in right now, this week, this month. 2019 is great, but I want you to start today. I don't want you to have some crazy New Year's resolution. Oh, in 2019, I'm going to make $700,000. And then we fast forward 12 months and you've done nothing differently starting today. And guess what? You're not making $700,000. You made whatever you made this year, or you start to slide backwards and get less. Daily action leads to weekly action, leads to monthly actions, leads to a year full of actions. And guess what? Actions lead to traction, and traction leads to results. But you don't start doing the baby steps. You're never going to start going down that path of first you walk, then you run, and then you fly. So 3 big fears, blocks, and gaps. And I'm curious which one of these is yours. Number 1, I can't find enough good clients. So what does that mean? Prospecting problem. Number 2, my prospects won't pay premium fees. That means you either have a fee problem, a confidence problem, or you're talking to the wrong people at the wrong level. So that's problem number 2, is my prospects won't pay. And then number 3, and I love that someone said mindset at the top because so many of these are mindset blockages. You firmly believe that you suck at selling. I hate sales. I love doing what I do. I love my work. I love speaking. I love consulting. I love my training workshops. I just don't like the selling part. So which one is yours? 1, 2, or 3, or you can you use the words, right? Can't find the good clients. Clients are not willing to pay the fees. Put in the word fees. Or I just suck at selling. Put in the word selling. So 3 varieties of problem here. You can refer to them by number, 1 or 2 or 3, or maybe you've got multiple problems. Maybe it's 1 and 3. Maybe it's 1 and 2. Maybe it's 2 and 3. Who knows what it is? But can't find enough good clients. So prospecting challenge. Wrong clients or wrong fees, wrong level of person you're talking to. So your client conversations aren't supporting the fees that you'd like to charge and you end up caving on price. Or I just suck at selling. I wish someone could take the selling off my plate. Don't like it, not good at it. And maybe, some people say, if you're honest, the selling thing is beneath me. I don't want to stoop to be a salesperson. Sales is slimy. Sales is gross. I don't want to sell. Selling is for the little people. I'm an expert. I'm an author. I'm a $10,000 keynoter. I'm a $30,000 per project consultant. I'm not going to be out there selling. That's for the used car salespeople. So which one is yours? Put it in the question box. 1, 2, 3. 1 is clients, 2 is fees, 3 is selling. Let's see what we got. Man, a lot of sales resistance here. No big surprise there. 3, 3, 3. So much 3 with lots of O's on the so. 3 selling, all 3, but mostly 3 selling. Clients 1 and 3, fees, another selling, another 3. 1 and 2, so 1 and 2 are catching up. Selling, can't find the good clients, probably all 3. Clients and selling, another all 3. Fees, procrastination about reaching out. Okay, great. All of them, just starting out, but still all 3. 2, clients, all of the above, yes. Sales is nasty, but that's where the money is. Need to learn to be good at it. Amen. Well, not amen to the first part. Sales is nasty. We got to fix. And we will fix your frame on selling during today's program. But it is absolutely where the money is. It absolutely is something that you got to be good at. All right. Good. So again, thank you for your honesty. Thank you for the self-assessment. You can't get better if you don't recognize the areas in which you need to improve. So let's talk about some myth busting right here, especially around the mindset piece that we just finished talking about. If you go into the selling mindset with sales is hard, guess how many sales you're going to make. Guess how much sales effort you're going to do. So I'm going to tell you that the truth to replace that with is sales is easy if you have a process. Sales is easy with a process. What does a process mean? Process doesn't just mean steps. A process means a discipline. A process means there are criteria for who you sell to. A process means there's a criteria for how you sell and how you don't. So you're not a cold calling, batch and blast spamming monkey. Cold calling, batch and blast spamming monkeys get very frustrated. They get very sad. Their calls don't get returned. They have no idea what they're doing wrong because all their voicemails go in a black hole and their emails go unanswered. So you need higher level outreach than, hi, do you buy speakers? Hi, do you buy coaching? Hi, do you want a training workshop? Hi, it's me. Is my check ready? Monkey salespeople go home with bananas. Think about that. Monkey salespeople who just do the lowest level, batch and blast, identical, cloned type of outreach, you're talking about a 1% hit rate. You have 100 conversations, you're lucky to get 1 client. That is not where the money is. With a process and with guardrails and with criteria and with elevating and escalating the quantity and quality and caliber of your sales activity, that's a process that gets results. Here's another myth. My clients won't pay premium fees. This is sort of half a myth, because here's the truth. You need to get better clients. You're looking for love in all the wrong places. It's like, well, I had a client a few years ago, and she was in Buffalo, New York, and she said, well, David, I just can't seem to get out of Buffalo. All I'm getting is these local, small, low-fee, no-fee gigs. They want me at the Ladies Auxiliary. They want me to, at the Lions Club. They want me to, do a session at the funeral home, literally, the funeral home. And, I get $200 here. I get $250 here. I get $150 here. That's all I can find. And I said to her, Nancy, that's not the problem. The problem is that you're taking them. You're taking them. So why are you concerned that the sandbox that you're playing in is the sandbox that you're stuck in? Don't play there. Don't say yes. Don't take the gig. Start finding bigger and better sandboxes and bigger and better playgrounds. So you do need to get better clients. You do need to get better clients, and we'll figure out how to do that for you today. Another myth, I'm not good at marketing. I'm just not good at this marketing stuff. Truth is, if you choose marketing activities that are easy, effortless, and enjoyable, you'll be a lot better at them. A lot better. Another myth, I hate asking for money. Asking for money is dirty. Asking for money is rude. We were raised and society tells us that can't talk about money, can't talk about how much mom makes, how much dad makes, how much your neighbor makes, what's your salary, what's in your paycheck, who's richer than who's got the fancier house, the fancier car. Anything money related is filthy, dirty, and nasty. Well, it's not. In fact, talking about money is awesome if you're talking with the right prospects for the right reasons, using the right language, and you invite them to a conversation about how you can help them. And they're like, yes, 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 that's what I want. How can we bring you in? How can we make that happen? How can we have that transformation? Because we're in the results business, folks. We're not in the speaking business or the consulting business or the workshop business or the training business. We're in the results business. When you talk to the right clients about the right results that they already know they want and that they need, they are going to be throwing money at your head. Throwing money at your head so fast your head will spin. All right. I would say the number one key to results is take that old mindset that we just busted through, get rid of it. Old mindset goes bye-bye. This is the number one determining factor of your success, bar none, period, end of sentence. I can give you all the tactics in the world, all the scripts, all the prospect lists, all the clever things to say and do to gain attention, open doors, open conversations, negotiate, offer value, invite engagement, gain commitment, close the deal, and get the check. I could lay out the entire buffet table for you. If your mindset is not right, you are still duct taped to the chair. The buffet's right there across the room, but you are still duct tape as tight as ever to the chair that you're sitting in right now because you can't let go of those myths and those self-limiting beliefs and those, they're not even self-limiting beliefs. I would say they're dangerous. They're dangerous, extremely expensive beliefs that you have to shed as soon as humanly possible. I like today. How about today? Can we shed those beliefs today? If you're willing to shed those beliefs today, please type in today in the question box. I want you guys to be fully involved, and whether you keep that commitment to me, it's totally up to you. I'll never know. I'll never know. You, however, will know. So if you're willing to get rid of that mindset today, bust through those chains, cut through the duct tape, get up and start helping yourself to the buffet table of premium clients who are willing and expecting to pay premium fees starting today, please put the word today in the question box. I would love that to be your breakthrough from this masterclass. Because we're talking about a lot of templates and scripts and ideas and all kinds of other things. Without the mindset being in place, you might as well hang up the phone, guys. Hang up the phone, jump back on Facebook, sort through your 5,000 emails in your inbox because I've lost you. I've lost you. I've lost you. Bye. See ya. People are dropping off the call. Bye. See ya. Goodbye. Anything else I teach you or share with you or show you is going to be useless if your mindset is still duct taped to the chair. So for the folks that are remaining, that you said yes, let's make sure this happens for you. Let's make absolutely sure that this happens. And why am I so passionate and on fire about that, by the way? Guess what? School of Hard Knocks. Been there. 3 years of totally unnecessary struggle. I started at zero. I made every mistake in the book. I made the good ones twice. So nothing that I'm sharing with you today is about theory or maybes or what I think is true. This is vetted, tested, proven material. I vetted and tested it first in my own business, then with my first handful of clients. Now we're over 550 clients that I've worked with individually and in groups over the last 10 years. This is the stuff that works. And this is also exactly how I've hit multi-six figures for every single year since 2009 in my own hybrid coaching, speaking, and training business. And by the way, that hybrid coaching, speaking, training, we're going to come back to that because a lot of people are a one-trick pony. And if all you do is training, we need to rev up those other revenue streams. If all you're doing is coaching, you might want to rev up the speaking and the training. If all you're doing is speaking, we might want to rev up the training or the consulting or whatever else you have in your toolkit. I'm going to give you a little preview, a little prequel. The magic number is 3. You want to have 3 revenue streams at a minimum, 3 different levels of depth, duration, and detail that your clients and prospects should be able to buy from you. Now, let's share some facts. This is my facts of life face. This is the real deal. Facts of life. Why you're not getting hired right now. And we're not going to dwell on this. I'm not going to make you feel bad and, have you slap yourself in the forehead. But I'll tell you, these were reasons that I wasn't getting hired early on. And see if some of these are familiar to you. Number 1, you spend a lot of time selling your stuff instead of selling the story of transformation that your clients and audiences get. What does that mean? That means that you're selling your inputs and your approaches instead of selling your outcomes and results. So you're pitching your speeches, you're pitching your consulting programs, you're pitching your coach. I have a great coaching program. Oh my gosh, it's 16 weeks. It's for every leader in your company. You get a big fat workbook. Man, there's assessments. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a 4-hour training workshop. And we do that every 3.5 weeks. And it goes from 8:30 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon. And there's a mid-morning break with like snacks and cookies. And yes, there's gluten-free cookies. Guys, you're competing on commodities. When you start selling your inputs and your approaches, you're competing on commodities. And this is why people are turning away. Here's what that looks like, by the way, in case you're not sure what I mean. I have to think about it. We just can't afford it right now. It's not in the budget. Sounds great. You know what? Just not a fit for us. Maybe we'll circle back on this next year, or maybe in 2020, or maybe in the year 2037. You know what? We decided to go in a different direction. These are all very nice ways of saying, This is like a bad breakup. When a boyfriend or a girlfriend tells you, it's not you, it's me, trust me, it's you. If you've been around the dating world a little bit, you know what I'm talking about. No, Joe, it's not you. It's me. I'm not ready for this relationship. Yeah, you know what, Joe, buddy, bad news. It's you. It's you. So you want to avoid that, right? Type yes if you've ever had that experience. I'm going to be over here typing yes about 74 times in the question box because that's how many times it's happened to me. But type yes in the question box if you've had that experience. Type in yes if you've heard these things once too often and it's time to stop hearing these things. We're an executive decision maker, a corporate executive, an association meeting planner. Someone says, oh yeah, you know what? We're going to have a meeting about the meeting. We're going to think about it. Yeah, that's too expensive. We really can't afford that. That's not in the budget right now. Let's circle back, sometime in June. Call me back in 6 months. If you've ever heard a very friendly, very diplomatic no like that, because maybe you were selling your stuff instead of selling the transformation, go ahead and type yes in the question box. And at least I won't feel alone. At least I won't feel alone. Okay, thank goodness. I'm not alone. Woo, that was close. I'm putting myself on the line here, guys, because every one of these mistakes I made early on. And a lot of our clients that we work with, they make them early on until we have them straighten up and fly right and start making some of these shifts and pivots in what they're doing and how they're doing it. And then obviously that's going to pivot their results. Here's the worst problem with that, I think, because I love working with our clients. I love seeing the transformation. I love seeing the results. I love seeing the success stories. One of my favorite things ever is to film success story testimonial after testimonial after testimonial of what people were able to do after fixing these strategic problems. But here's what happens. Here's the before picture. If they hire you and they treat you like a commodity, they don't see the value. These are like the nightmare clients from hell. They push back on your advice. They don't do the work. They don't show up for calls. They don't implement. They don't get results. That's because they didn't take you seriously. You did not show up as a trusted advisor. You showed up as my least favorite word, vendor. Vendor status is killing your speaking, training, coaching, and consulting business. We have to escape the price-driven sale. We have to elevate to thought-leading expert or trusted advisor or trusted partner and peer, and not vendor and not peddler, not vendor and peddler status. Vendors and peddlers sell transactions. Please write this down somewhere. You know you're a vendor and a peddler when you're in the transaction business. And you know that you're a trusted advisor when you're in the results and transformation business. Clients will pay a lot more for a business transformation, a leadership transformation, a customer service transformation, a talent development transformation, a health and wellness transformation, a career transformation than a transaction. Think about this as a career consultant who's going to guide you, coach you, and mentor you to the job of your dreams versus a resume writer. People pay career consultants $15,000, $20,000. They pay a resume writer $80 an hour. That's the difference. Now, here's the heartbreak of it. We've had some resume writers come in who were actually career consultants, but they had the imposter syndrome. So they just reduced themselves to the transactional work that they did. When we said, you know what, stop calling yourself a resume writer and start going into career consulting, career coaching, and career mentoring that you're already great at and that your clients are already using you for, they literally 10x their income. They'd be making like, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, and now they're making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. Same number of clients, but, do you want a couple of $100, $200, $300 resumes, or do you want three $10,000 career consulting clients? She wanted three $10,000 career consulting clients every month, and that's what we were able to do for her. So think about transformation versus transaction in what you're doing right now. If you've had this experience where you have the nightmare client from hell, they're paying too little, but they're the most demanding, most rude, most belligerent, most nitpicky, most micromanaging, type in the word oi. And I'm going to drink a little sip of tea as my fingers type in oi, 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 because early on I had way too many of these people because I depositioned myself as a peddler. I depositioned myself. We say, let's position you as a trusted advisor and as a peer. If you deposition yourself to a vendor and a peddler, that's how they treat you. So where are my oi people? Where's my oi people? It can't just be me by myself. I want to see the oi crew. Who else said yes? So here's the soundbite, guys. For your 2019 strategic plan, don't worry about the right clients saying no. Worry about the wrong clients saying yes. Write that one down, man. That is gold. That should be your North Star for 2019. Don't worry about the right clients saying no. Worry about the wrong clients saying yes, because that's what you get. You get the underpaying, undervaluing, underperforming, micromanaging, super demanding, rude, pushy, bully, nightmare clients from hell. And again, why do I speak so articulately and passionately and clearly about this? It happened to me a lot in the early days. It happened to me a lot in the early days. All right, so here's the deal. Buyers don't care about any of our stuff, our things, right? For them, it's about three main things. When you're selling into corporate America, you're selling into corporations, associations, groups, conferences, companies, small companies, big companies, medium-sized companies, doesn't matter. There's only three kinds of problems that any of us are ever going to solve. People problems, profit problems, and process problems. I want you to focus 100% of your conversation on solving these and stop talking about your stuff. Stop talking about the speech and the workshop and the consulting and it's this long and it's this kind of binder and it's this kind of assessment. They don't care. Can you help me solve my people problem? Yes, you're hired. Can you help me solve my profit problems? Yes, you're hired. Can you help me solve my process problems? Yes, you're hired. Great. Now you have to know which people problems, profit problems, and process problems you hire, that you solve, but those are the three buckets. Those are the three buckets. And sometimes you solve a couple in one bucket and a couple in another. They're not mutually exclusive. But that's what people are paying for. That's what our prospects and buyers are paying for. They're also paying for value, impact, results, and outcomes, plus the emotional payoff of solving those problems. So how will they feel on the other side of solving the problem? How will they feel once that problem goes away? How will they feel once that outcome is achieved, once that goal is met, once that result is finished and in the can? Because speaking emotionally on your LinkedIn, on your website, in your sales letters, on your emails, in your outreach, and your voicemails, that's the missing piece for many people. The transactional is, well, here's what you get. What you're really solving is frustration, anger, disappointment. You're addressing fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You're accelerating them towards pride, confidence, clarity, control, success. Those kinds of words is what they buy. When you start talking about your stuff, it erodes all of the value, impact, results, and outcomes because now they start to have doubts if you can actually deliver. So another very, very important shift for you. Here's the 7-step process that you've probably seen me share before because it's our core process that we use with all of our clients, and it involves 7 pillars: strategy, packaging, focus, prospects, outreach, sales, and leverage. And you've seen how this diagram works. If any one of these pieces is missing, you're going to have a problem. And the problem is in the right-hand side column. And the problem with no strategy is that you've got just a whole bunch of tactics, right? Tacticitis. We talked about that at the top of the call. Without packaging, you're a commodity. There's no unique advantage or distinction. Without focus, without you being focused and having that momentum, you're a squirrel and just ping-ponging all over the place without any direction. Without a prospecting plan, you're going from the accountants to the plumbers to the lunch ladies. And the problem with that is with no industry focus, the plumbers don't talk to the accountants don't talk to the lunch ladies, and you have a very tough time when you're pinballing between these different groups and you never get known by anybody. No outreach is the best kept secret syndrome. No sales ability is you're slowly going broke like I was in the first 3 years of my business. And then without leverage strategies, you risk burnout. So I'm curious, does some of that sound familiar? You don't need to identify which one, but looking at these 7, if you dialed in strategy, packaging, you were super focused, you had a clear prospecting plan, your outreach was completely dialed in, you mastered a sales process that you actually found enjoyable, and then you found some ways to leverage that so that you're getting paid separate from your time, attention, and presence, do you feel that would be successful for you? Put a couple comments. I'm just curious what people think about this 7-pillar model and if this resonates with you. And if there's 1 or 2 pieces that you feel are really missing for you, type that in the question box. What do you feel out of these 7 pillars? one or two, now that we've talked all the way through them, one or two is like, man, I got to work on my packaging. Man, I got to work on my outreach. My outreach is 0, or my outreach is terrible. Or I'm working way too hard. I got to work on my leverage. Leverage is what I have to work on in 2019. So which one of those speaks to you? Or which several speak to you? You can do multiple choice if you want to do multiple choice. And I'm just going to take another little bit of tea here while you're typing. I see a lot of strategy. I see a couple packaging, outreach, more packaging and outreach, strategy and sales. I'm hearing from Juliana and Shannon and Jeffrey and David and Dontel and Bappa and Jim and Marissa and Liddy and Eugene and Lewis and Dontel and Cameron and Elena and Monica and Lena. Fantastic. Okay. Super. Well, now you know what to work on. Now you know which bits and pieces to work on. So, a couple of sales landmines, because really, this is where things blow up. You can do okay, and then you're blindsided by some problems. Landmine number 1, and some action steps with a green check mark. You have no idea who your prospects are. You say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to sell to the chemical industry. I'm going to sell to the banking industry. Well, you need to get more specific, my friends. So which corporations, which executives, which groups are you specifically trying to do business with? The checkmark item, the action step for you, starting right now, is make a written, finite, workable list of 20 specific human being prospects. Executives and decision makers inside of those industries and companies that you want to work for, right? A lot of people don't even have a target list of the companies. If you have a target list of the companies or the associations or the conferences, a lot of people have no idea who's the decision maker, who's the top dog, who's the executive director, who's the programs manager, who's in charge of member education for that big conference that you want to speak at. Make a list. Make a list. Lists solve anxiety. Lists solve mystery. Lists solve a multitude of sins. So make a written, finite, workable list of 20 specific prospects, because you can't prospect generically. You always have to prospect specifically to individual human beings with a name, a face, a phone number, a LinkedIn account, an email address. Specificity will solve your prospecting problem. Prospecting success. John Garrett came through our program. He says David's program is easily the best ROI a recovering CPA could dream of because he dialed in his prospecting. So he says he breaks things down into simple processes with actionable steps. I was able to sell more speaking engagements to better clients at consistently higher fees to the point of an 85% increase in income from last year. Imagine if you had an 85% increase in speaking-driven income between last year and this year. I booked a $5,500 gig within 5 weeks of starting the program. John was, even though John had an industry, because he speaks and trains and works in the accounting industry as a recovering CPA, as you see here, he wasn't dialing in the specific names, people, faces, prospects, and he wasn't reaching out to individuals. He was just reaching out. He's doing a lot of RFPs, doing a lot of industry conferences, just kind of submitting over the transom and not building relationships with real flesh and blood human being prospects. Once he started ramping up and scaling the one-to-one prospect relationship building that he was doing, this is the result. So please stop prospecting in general. And there's no such thing really as prospecting in general. What you're doing is you're hiding, or you're delaying, or you're sabotaging yourself. All prospecting, all effective prospecting, is prospecting to individual people that you want to intentionally befriend your next series of prospects and invite them to a conversation about how you can help them. Landmine number 2 is, I mentioned this before, no consistent sales process. Of course, random activity leads to random results. And my friends, I have bad news. Sitting by the phone, waiting for the phone to ring, is not a sales process. So what's your action step? You have to proactively target, reach out and connect with economic buyers. What we tell our clients all the time, we have to reinforce this all the time, is put fresh targets on your radar daily. Let me repeat that. It's very important. Please write that down somewhere. Successful thought-leading entrepreneurs, speakers, consultants, coaches, trainers, workshop leaders, they put fresh targets on their radar daily. Daily. Not weekly, not every month, not when their pipeline's looking thin, but they're putting new people into their contact database and they are reaching out and connecting with them in a high-value, trusted advisor manner on a daily basis. A day without outreach is like a day without sunshine. And a day without sales is like a day without oxygen. Your business cannot afford a day without outreach. Your business cannot afford a day without a sale. If that's your mindset, trust me, you will dial in this speaker marketing and sales machine like nobody's business. Maybe you need some guidance. Maybe you need some structure and some mentoring and some butt kicking and some accountability. And we can do that with you. But even if you're on your own, and you decide to go out on your own, this is a key mantra that you have to adopt. Tony Lucero came through our program. He was fearless and shameless and relentless in his outreach, and he was consistent with it. So here's what happens. He has an outreach. Someone contacts him within 24 hours on a jet to Salt Lake City to meet some of the owners of this business. Long story short, I picked up 2 coaching clients totaling $32,400, and I'm on retainer for 90 days at $10,000 per month with the company. So that's what you get when you're fearless, relentless, and shameless, and you're putting new prospects on your radar daily. He says, I'm not doing this to boast. I was doing the activity that David outlines and focused on what I wanted to attract to my business that allowed the doors to be opened. Stay the course, do the work, and know your target market. I could not have written this better myself. Amen, amen, amen. Stay the course, and it will get tough. I mean, you will get some no's along the way. Make no mistake, my friends. You will get some no's along the way. Do the work, know your target market. And then below I put the comment, love, love, love these results, energy, and momentum. Go, Tony. And then Tony said, your program, David, made this possible. But this is all about putting prospects on your radar daily. You cannot be sitting in your office waiting for business to fall in your lap and expect to get anywhere near these kinds of results. Landmine number 3 is trying to pitch your speaking or your consulting and your program. Not enough time connecting and building trust and building relationship. So what's the action step for you to overcome landmine number 3? Ask more questions. Shift into trusted advisor and problem solver mode to bring in bigger checks. The more time you spend pitching, and I know some of you guys, you're spending a lot of time with low payoff activities, like pitching your stuff. And I say this till I'm blue in the face on webinars and videos and even with our prospects. For heaven's sakes, please stop pitching. Stop pitching the speaking. Stop pitching the consulting. Stop pitching the program. Start serving and helping. Start serving and helping and connecting and relating. Start building trust and value before a check is exchanged, and you'll get a lot more checks. Write that down somewhere. Start building value before money is exchanged, and you will get a lot more checks in the door from people who want to hire you, adopt you, buy you a puppy, buy you a Maserati, whatever they want to do for you. But if you get them to see the value, stop pitching and start helping. Stop pitching and start serving and connecting and building relationship. So another client success in this vein, and I preach this all the time, and even our clients don't believe me until they experience it for themselves. So Michelle Cederberg, certified speaking professional, very successful speaker up in Canada. She says, proof that it's always best to get on the phone to discuss possibilities and to go into the conversation with a confident, I can help you mindset. My client call ended in a full fee booking for February 2018, and she signed up for the program about the same time last year as we are now on the calendar this year. So this is like 2 or 3 months out. $7,500, boom, easy, done. I love this stuff. Now, she wasn't calling to sell anything. She was calling to say, hey, what's going on? How can I help you? Fill me in on what's been going on with this, that, and the other thing. And that resulted in, oh my gosh, we need you. We have this problem. When can you come in? How much is it? Yes, we'll gladly pay that. Done. One call close. One call close, not to sell something, but to help and to build a relationship and to add value and to connect. So guys, if you're not doing this, you're just another salesperson. You're just another peddler. You're just another cold caller. You're just another human piece of spam. I don't want you to be a human piece of spam. I want you to be Michelle Cederberg and reach out and build a relationship with as many new friends as you can make and connect and help and serve and add value before the check is written, and you will get a lot more checks written with your name on it. Are these concepts landing with you guys? I haven't had a question for you in quite a while. Is this having a profound impact on you? Scale of 1 to 10. Give me a number. Don't make me feel good. Honestly, is this the stuff that you think is the rocket fuel for your 2019? If it is, throw a 10 my way. If it's so Newman, you're doing okay, but it's not awesome, give me a 5. And if this is the worst webinar you've ever been on, give me a 1. So 1 is terrible, 10 is pretty darn awesome, pretty darn helpful, and you think you can make money with this. And then anything in between, scale of 1 to 10. I can take it. I'm not going to call out names. So you can give me a bad grade, and I'll still be okay. I will still be okay. I want to make sure I'm serving you to the highest and best that I possibly can, because I'm living this message too, right? I'm trying to make this masterclass as helpful and serving you and specific and relevant to you as I possibly can. So let's see how I did. Let's see how I did. All right, I'm not going to brag, but I've got a goodly number of 2-digit answers, and I appreciate that hugely, and thank you for being on here. All right. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Wow. Nice. I also like the numbers that are above 10. So I'm getting a couple of 11s and 10 pluses and 13s. I got a 10 minus. Ooh, 10 minus. All right. Well, let's see if I can erase that minus. Let's keep going. Thank you guys. Truly. This is the most fun that I have. Besides working with our clients, this is the second most fun that I have. I have to say that because we got like half a dozen clients on the call. No, but truly, this is among the highlights of my world, is being able to teach and preach and get people on the right track with their speaking-driven business. All right, let's talk about some money. So again, harsh news. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I don't sugarcoat things with my clients. You can ask any of them. If you attract broke prospects, you will go broke with them. This is like my client, Nancy. Couldn't get out of Buffalo. $150 gig, $200 gig, $250 gig. I said, Nancy, that you're finding them, that's not the problem. The problem is that you're taking them. The problem is that you're taking them. If you say yes to broke prospects, you'll go broke with them. If you're not, this is huge. And again, no one believes this one until they practice it and they say, oh my God, it worked. If you're not getting the fees that you deserve now, the knee-jerk reaction is to lower the fee. It's time to raise the fee. If you're having trouble getting $3,500, go to $5,500. If you're having trouble getting $2,500, go to $4,500. If you're having trouble getting $5,500, go to $7,500. You will be amazed at how this works. I don't have time to go into the human psychology of why it works, but there's definitely science behind it. And every single person I've given that advice to, they come back, they're shaking their heads, their mouths are open. They're like, dude, I thought you were crazy. I thought I had to cut my fees and lower my prices. Here's what happens. Premium clients expect to pay premium fees. Notice the words I'm using. It's not willing to, it's not able to, it's expecting to. They're expecting to pay premium fees. I want you to also adopt this mantra. If they don't have your fee, they are not your prospect. So if Nancy's fee was $4,500, which is really kind of the minimum wage for professional experts, the minimum wage for a speech or a training day is $4,500. I need you to know that, adopt that, hug that, kiss that, take that to bed with you, and sleep on it. $4,500. You position yourself at less than $4,500, they say something must be wrong with her. Something must be wrong with him. Now, we've worked with folks that are 5, 10, 15, 18,000. I think our highest speaker fee of someone coming into our program was they were a $20,000 keynoter. And that is unusual, but we've helped those people pivot and expand their business as well. The mantra at whatever level, 4,500 to 20,000 plus, if they don't have your fee, they are not your prospect. That's not about them, it's about you, that you're hunting and fishing in the wrong places. We call this marketplace feedback. Marketplace feedback means that you walk into a BMW dealership with a Hyundai budget, and there's nothing wrong with walking into the Hyundai dealership. But you walk into the BMW dealership with a Hyundai budget, guess what? The BMWs don't suddenly get cheaper. And the BMW salesperson is not concerned that you can't afford their car because they're 100% focused every day and every night. How do I find my next BMW customer? So how do you find your next serious, credible speaking, training, coaching, consulting customer? By focusing in the right places and not accepting anything less than the financial standards that you've set for your business. You have to come up with a fee model that supports your business. And let's also talk about how your prospects want to buy you. Because it's not one size fits all. Where a lot of people get no's in the marketplace, and this is a strategic shift for you for 2019, you have to develop a variety of modes and formats. Some might be live and in person. Some might be online, some might be virtual, some might be video, some might be group, some might be one-to-one, some might be one-to-many. But think about 3 dials that are at your disposal and write down these 3. They're 3 Ds, but I call them 3 dials that you can adjust. It's varying levels of depth, duration, and detail. So your fee level should reflect, with your different investable opportunities, different levels of depth, duration, and detail. So a 45-minute keynote is different than a 6-month leadership development program, right? A 45-minute sales keynote is different than a 90-day sales coaching relationship. A 45-minute customer service keynote is different than buying 1,000 seats for your customer service online course that a large company might license and buy by the truckload. So think in terms of depth, duration, and detail, and start selling what your prospects want to buy. And don't be so hell-bent on selling what you want to sell because you might be wrong. And don't tell them what they need to buy. Ask them how they need to buy the solution that they want to buy. And you say, you know what? I've got 3 great ways we can work together. Small, medium, large. Maybe you have a super size. There's a 4th great way we can work together. But don't be a one-trick pony. They might say no to the $5,000 keynote and say yes to the $60,000 year-long consulting package. So if you don't have those in your toolkit, that is a gap in your strategy. That is a total gap in your strategy. I like to talk about this golden triangle where your speaking services just generally build awareness. You're not going to solve any problems by speaking. You want to solve the problem, then you do training. You have a variety of training implementations then. That's where skills transfer happens. And then often skills transfer isn't enough because you have to change the culture. You have to change the way they think. You have to have that long-term, sustained behavior change over time. And that's where your consulting and coaching profit centers kick in. Now, you can keep going around this golden triangle because they'll refer you to a different department, a different region, a different business unit, and you can keep working your way. Speaking leads to training, training leads to consulting and coaching leads to more speaking. They brought you into the Western division, now they want you in the Eastern division, now they want you in the Central division, they want you in product category B, now they take you to product category A, and you can keep working your way around this triangle and literally make hundreds of thousands of dollars with only a small handful of clients. So depth, duration, and detail at work is this golden triangle, the golden triangle model. If you like this, if you can see some application of this in your business, go ahead and type triangle. Type triangle in the question box. I'm curious how many folks really resonate that this is something that could totally work in your business, with your niche, with your topic, with your target market. That if you had 3 different levels of depth, duration, and detail, just type triangle. Type triangle in the question box if this is starting to light off some light bulbs for you. That, man, I could do this and I could double my income. I could do this. I could scale my business like a crazy person if I had the 3 different levels of depth, duration, and detail, and my clients could pick and choose where they start, upsell, cross-sell, graduate into, etc. So if that's exciting to you, type in the word triangle. All right. We got a lot of triangles here. A lot of triangles. Very, very nice. I love this. Bud says triangle. In fact, my logo is a series of triangles. Well, I think it was meant to be then, my friend. It was probably meant to be. Now, I mentioned that I hinted that you want to have at least 3 different investable opportunities. Notice all of these are a different level of depth, duration, and detail. And I also gave you kind of price points where a starting point and then kind of, up and up from there. But really, the sky's the limit. Speaking, that might be anywhere from $4,500 to $12,000, $10,000, $9,000, $8,000, $7,500. We have that speakers at all different price points along that range. Training day, same thing, anywhere from $4,500 to $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 per training day. Coaching relationship, anywhere from $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 per month. Consulting contracts, $5,000 to $25,000 a month, easy. We just had a client of ours close a $140,000 consulting contract over the next year. Licensing, we had a lot of clients have a lot of good success with licensing. $75,000 licensing deal, $75,000 sponsorship deal as well that you see there at the bottom. So really the sky's the limit. But what I'm saying is don't have just one. Don't worry about what these are. We can talk about what these are later with your specific situation if you want to. But have at least 3. Have at least 3. Firing on all cylinders is what it looks like. Look at that little clever animation. I spared no expense for you guys. None. I spared no expense on this one. Crazy. All right. So how do you do the math? I love that little animation with the pistons. Let's say you do 2 speeches at $5,500 a month. That's what you want. So that's $11,000 a monthly income. Then you have a coaching program. Maybe it's a 90-day coaching program. You sell 2 of those a month. That brings in $19,000. That's sales, not delivery, right? But you're selling 2 of those a month. And then you have a consulting package. Let's say that averages $25K. And you'd like to sell 1 of those a month. This is your goal. This is your revenue model that you're aiming for. So 25 plus 19 plus 11, you say, okay, well, I have a monthly goal. Add those 3 numbers up. That's a $55,000 a month revenue model. Multiply that by 12. That is a $660,000 speaking-driven business. Now, whether that's high for you or low or just about right, it doesn't matter. Because here's the point of doing this exercise. Now you know, and you know where the fees need to go higher or lower. The quantity needs to go higher or lower to meet the revenue goals that you really, really want. And I want you to commit to a revenue goal that you really, really want on a monthly basis. Because if you don't do it monthly, you're never going to do it annually. And some of you guys know this, right? You want to have $1 million business? Great. That's $83,333 every single month. You want to have a $500K business? Awesome. That is $41,666, right? You want to have a $2.4 million business? That is $200,000 a month. And I can just keep going because I'm very, very good at this math. And that's how I went from 6 figures to multi-6 figures and multi-6 figures to 7 figures. And now we're on the way from 7 figures to multi-7 figures. And it all comes down to what you're doing on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, these numbers are not going to generate themselves. My friends, more bad news for your 2019 strategy. You are in charge of these numbers. How you hit them, when you hit them, where you hit them, we can work on that together. But these goals and these goal posts, what you define as success, maybe you define success, you know what? 10K a month would be awesome. Great. Let's define it. Let's dial it in. Let's figure out how to make it happen. For some of you, oh my God, 10K. No, I'm already doing 12. I'm already doing 15K. I want to get to 30K a month. Great. 30K a month. Declare it, own it, reverse engineer it using this very simple math. Here's what you're going to do. Here's the jackpot slide of our entire session today. Boom, boom, boom. What are you selling? How many of them? What does that bring in? Price times quantity equals total. So how many keynotes, how many training days, how many workshops, how many online courses? If you have products or books, how much product sales, how much book sales? Whatever you're doing, the monthly goal will define itself. The annual goal will define itself. And now you have daily and weekly sales metrics. You know on a daily and weekly basis, am I ahead? Am I behind? Am I right on point? Imagine that. Am I ahead? Am I behind? Am I right on point? You are now in full control of your financial results. You're no longer riding the feast and famine roller coaster. You know what needs to be done. And when you're committed and when you're decisive about these numbers, you'll be amazed at how fast you can make them happen. If this is totally a mystery and you're like, let's see what comes in this month, that's why you might be treading water financially. That's why you might be going broke, frankly. There's a few people on here, I know that you're going broke. There's no shame in that. I was broke for 3 years. I know what broke feels like. I know what broke tastes like. I know what when my wife looks at me and goes, honey, get a real job. This is back in 2002, 2003, 2004. This thing that you're trying to work on, it's not working. It's not bringing home the bacon. You want to bring home the bacon? Define the bacon, find the pig, and get busy. That's a new soundbite. Define the bacon, find the pig, and get busy. You cannot make the bacon unless you find out where the pig is and what part of the pig makes bacon. You don't want to end up with pork chops. It would be bad. So if this is 100% real to you, that math that we just did, I want you to declare your annual number, and I want you to type in the word real. So if you just mapped out, oh my gosh, if I'm doing $20,000 a month, I can make $240,000 a year. Put in 240K and the word real. If you decide I want to make 150K, put 150K real. If you decided, oh my gosh, I've been playing small potatoes, I could be making $30,000 a month. Over a year, 360K, put 360K and the word real. And I want to see what you guys are committing to right now. And you're not committing for next year, you're committing for this week and this month and next week and next month and the week after that and the month after that and the quarter after that. We're not going to wait 12 months to figure out if you made it. We're going to be able to figure this out within days and weeks if you're on pace to hit these numbers. And that's the driving force that's going to get you there. That's the driving force that's going to get you there. So let's see if we have some good, exciting annual numbers here. And exciting is relative, right? So it's all good. 250K, 120K, another 120, 250, 500, real, 1000% real. 90K real, 240, 250, 120, 200, 800K real, 240K real, 50K real, 60K, 300K, 60K, 20K a month, real, 150K real, 100K, I love 358. Someone's really done the math on this. This is awesome. Another 300, another 50. All right. So you know what? Going from zero, I'll tell you, the folks that are putting in like 50, 60, I'm calling out these much bigger numbers. Here's a secret. You guys have an advantage. Going from 0 to 50 or 60 is actually harder work than these guys that are going, 250, 300, 358, 100. It's harder to go from a standing start to a solid $5,000 a month. We can help you with that. But I'll tell you, man, once you're at 60, we'll get you to 100 so fast your head will spin. If you're at 100, you want to get to 150, 180, 250, 240, these numbers, you can get there so fast your head will spin. It's like a standing start and going to 60 miles an hour, that burns up a lot of fuel. 60 to 100 miles an hour, not a problem. You know what you do? You stomp on the gas. You keep on going. And the commitment and the decisiveness and the drive will kick in and help you make it happen. So I don't want the people that have the low numbers to feel like inadequate or, goofy. Believe me, when I first started putting some like decent numbers, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month in the bank, my whole world changed. And then simply add some more zeros on that. That was nice, but my whole world changed when I went from $40,000 negative of credit card debt to bringing in $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month. It was a game changer. And now we're bringing in about 10 times that much, but nothing feels as good as knowing you've got a viable business that puts food on the table and that takes care of your family and that gets you the financial rewards and freedom that you want. So let's talk about how to find some of these opportunities. Google is your friend. I'm going to go down some of these quick little Google searches. Put in your topic, conference, convention, 2019 annual meeting. You guys know how Google works. You can spice this up, put in your state, put in your industry, put in words like association or conference or meeting. You can also look at their sponsor list, their past meetings, their previous speakers. There's a ton of marketplace intelligence out there. Let me show you how that works. Let's say we're in the banking industry. I type in banking conference. First thing that comes up is American Banker Magazine. There's all my 2019 events. Boom, 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 served up on a silver platter. I keep going down that Google result. I'm going to find the American Bankers Association. I'm going to look at conferences. I might find old stuff. I might find new stuff. I might see current links. I found something ancient, 2014, right? This is old website popped up just because of SEO or backlinks or who knows what. But then I went to the link that's the current link for major meetings and conferences. And I found all the 2018, 2019, 2020 stuff. I looked at their publications. I looked at what does it take to write for the publications. Because sometimes the best way to get into an association is through the publication side of the house and writing articles. Then I found their major meeting sponsors. That's interesting. And I found all of these different type of events. And look at this. Look at this down here. My two new best friends can't find what you're looking for. Elisa and Carrie are my two new best friends. Senior Vice President and Director of Meetings and Member Relations. Complete with direct dial phone numbers and email addresses. So all you have to do is look. If you look, you will find. It's incredible. So the mindset shift is don't look for ways to sell them your services. Look for ways to solve their problem. And we had some fantastic client success. My client, John Ramstead, came through the program. The email came in. It said, praise report for today. He says, David, using your talking points, I just got my first $25,000 this week. Client gave me $5,000 at the last meeting. We'll pay the balance when we start our program next week. Muchas gracias. And this is a guy who hit it hard right out of the gate. So when I said stop selling it for cheap, right, and have the fee model, the business model, the price times quantity equals total, John knew that for as busy as he wanted to be with the money he wanted to make, he had to up his game. He had to up his fees. Because if he didn't, then the math wasn't going to work. The math just wasn't going to work. So I said, dude, here's what the number has to be. And he says, really? I said, yeah, really. He said, you think my clients would pay that? I said, I know they would pay that. For the kind of problems that you solve, because now he dialed in the articulation, the distinction, the relevance, the specificity. It just started happening so fast that he was shocked. He was surprised. He would quote a number and they would say yes, and he would hold the receiver away from his head and stare at it, somewhat puzzled, going, wow, did this person just say yes? But after the second or third sale, that wore off. And then he started raising the price even from this number that you see here. So it's surprising, it's amazing, it's incredible, it's impossible until it's not. Write that one down. for your 2019 strategic planning? Set big goals, folks, because it's amazing, it's surprising, it's incredible, it's impossible until it's not. And until you take these bold steps and start to make it happen. All right, economic reality about speaking fees. This is huge, and this is what I talked about with the minimum wage concept, right? This is studied straight from the National Speakers Association, and this is based on experience, but I'm going to have you ignore the left-hand side column. Because even if you're a brand new speaker, the median fee you should be getting is $3,820. 1 year or 2 years in the business, and many of you are in the business much longer than just 1 year, the number jumps to $5,578. Now, what's the number I told you? It's lower than this. It's lower than this, guys. I told you $4,500. And you're like, oh, no, that's too high. I couldn't possibly. No way. No one's... Stop saying that to yourself. These are statistical facts. This is not what they charge. This is what they get paid. They probably charge more than this and negotiate down, right? They don't cave on price. They negotiate value for value. But this is what folks are getting in the marketplace. Even very new people, 1 or 2 years, $5,578, $5,724, $6,000 fee, $7,000 fee, close to an $8,000 fee. And guess what? You don't need to be 11 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 years in the business to start getting $7,500, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 fees. You know what you have to be? You have to be clear. You have to be good. You have to be relevant. That's what you need. And it's really about what they need to pay to take you seriously. And we've talked about that before. So some sales success, I could just pepper the screen with these. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. But every client that comes in and takes this seriously gets amazing, incredible results. Financial results, speaking fee results, 6 months, 12 months, short-term, long-term, I don't care how you measure it. You can measure it like John Garrett did, $5,500 gig, and he never made that much. And 5 weeks into the program, boom, $5,500. $106,000 cash collected over the past 6 months, $12,500 gig, never having gotten really paid anything close to that before. Past the 6-figure mark. It's not even October yet. What you guys are teaching works. Booked 2 $5,000 speeches this week. This week? That's a $10,000 week, right? $60,000 to $70,000 consulting contract booked in a couple of conversations. So what's possible before versus what's possible after, you have to take the blinders off. You have to stop playing small, and you have to stop paying your dues. I'm not even sure what that means, by the way. Oh, I got to pay my dues. I got to start by, speaking for free 1,000,000 times. No, you don't have to speak for free 1,000,000 times. You don't have to pay your dues. You don't have to start small. You are ready to charge more. You are good enough right now to charge more. I don't care how many years you're in this. You saw the experience chart. You should be doing $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 gigs today, not someday, but today. These are all very toxic, very deadly beliefs. And I'd love you to get rid of them so we can start elevating and escalating your success. And it's time to start paying your bills. So if you're tired of undercharging and under-earning, even as a seasoned pro, and like I said, we worked with 20-year veterans and $15,000, $18,000 keynoters that were stagnant, needed a pivot, needed to reboot, recharge, reinvigorate their speaking-driven business. And here's why. Fees are a filter for your best clients. Fees are also a filter for who they look at, and premium clients expect to pay premium fees. I mentioned this to you before. It's not about what you need to earn. It's about what they need to pay to take you seriously. So we already did the fee. Type in, and you guys know your price times quantity equals total. You can turn this around in a few weeks. This is literally nothing you have to wait for. I have to wait to drink that soda, but it's nothing you have to wait for. And I'd love you to let go of small potatoes thinking and small potatoes doing. Stop treating this like an expensive hobby, because doing okay was not your initial dream when you started this business. So how much should you be earning? What's the legitimate annual salary for a speaking-driven professional? We call it doctor money. And the average general practitioner salary, according to payscale.com, is $186,600 a year. So if you're making less than that now, we should elevate and escalate you towards that as soon as possible. If you're making that now and you'd like to make more, let's start doing that $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month plan. You've already done the math. You've backed into the math with price times quantity equals total. Let's operationalize that and make it consistent for you. So here's another example. Speaker had never really charged before. Our fabulous client, Susan Robertson, got a $7,500 gig, and then immediately after got a $3,500 gig that she was willing to do for free, but the David Newman DNA kicked in, and she negotiated full-length HD video plus introductions plus people I target from their list plus video testimonials. So basically, having never charged for speaking, to 2 different gigs with $11,000 cash collected within 6 weeks of starting our work together, because she was willing to think bigger. And she was not willing to play small and not willing to keep it close and not willing to, wait to get ready. And someday, maybe kind of when I get my 7th PhD or write my 5th book, I'll be ready. She was ready today. And you guys are ready today. And then the secret weapon that I have found in my career is investing in mentorship. I think everyone should have a mentor. Mentoring brings new ideas and, most importantly, accountability for implementing those new ideas in the real world. It's your GPS, it's your compass, it's your map. It's going to help you shorten the path, speed the process, avoid potholes, guide your action. It's the straightest possible line to the outcomes and the results that you want to create. And a good mentor is going to give you great ideas and make sure that you implement. A great mentor will also put together a group of like-minded people all working towards the similar goals. That, to me, is a force multiplier. Every time that I've been in a mentorship relationship like that, in addition to the mentorship program, of course, that we run, we see the amplifier and magnifier quality of having other people in the group. In our mentoring program, as a matter of fact, there are people earning $3,000 a month working right alongside people earning $30,000 a month and more. And because of that exchange of ideas, everybody wins. So your 2019 blueprint, I'm telling you guys that if you do the old batch and blast, bulk mail, spam, cold call nonsense, you are in for a rude awakening. That is getting less and less effective every day. There's a lot of people teaching it, not us, but there's a lot of other people teaching it with recycled info, outdated strategies, clueless peers that think that's the path to success, greedy gurus who don't really care if you have success or not, but they want to enroll you in their $25,000 super duper weekend boot camp and then, drop a whole box of crap on your front door and say that's the secret to being a speaker. A lot of broken promises out there. People are going under. Good speakers are throwing in the towel, putting on the green apron, going to work at Starbucks. And that is a trend that I am here to reverse. If you want to win, and I want you to win, you need to do things differently. You need to get serious. You need to focus on solving real problems, building a real business, building real relationships with economic buyers, not just finding the next gig. And the time to do that is right now. So now you have a choice. We have a little Q&A coming up here. I'm happy to answer any of your open questions, but I also first want to invite you to stop doing things the old way with old results that's slow, difficult, the mindset hacks that we talked about at the top of the call today. This is hard. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I'm spinning my wheels. You guys know what to do. You need to implement what we just talked about today. Otherwise, you risk not reaching the next level, can't figure out that magic password, the secret magic beans to the secret club of high-fee experts that you see around you. With no guidance and no accountability and no support, I know firsthand that is a hard and lonely road. So I'm going to invite you to book a call with our team at doitmarketing.com/call, and that confusion can end today. On the call, we're going to diagnose what's really going on with your business. We're going to find the strategic gaps like we talked about today. We're going to help you refocus, reframe, reboot your business, and look at everything that needs to be dialed in, from your messaging, your packaging, your positioning, your pricing, their marketing activity, the sales activity. Fill in what's missing for you specifically so that you can consistently get clients you love and finally earn what you deserve. And Morgan, I think you're going to put the hot link there to our calendar so people can just book a call there in the chat window. Let's see if we can get that happening, and we'll see if I can make that work, if I can see that. It's doitmarketing.com/call, and I hope this works. And Morgan, you can put it in also during the Q&A in case I screwed it up, but hopefully that came across to everybody in the chat. And then this isn't for everybody. The only caveat with this, it's not for everyone. It's not for you if building a high-fee speaking-driven business is not your top priority. It's not for you if you don't want to be when you grow up. So you're a dabbler, you're a hobbyist, you're a tire kicker, you're a goofball. As we lovingly say, you probably don't want to waste your time on this call. You refuse to follow a proven process and take action on specific instructions. So that's not going to work out well. If you refuse to change your low-fee mindset and low-fee business model, in other words, you need to be coachable. If you're a fake expert and your program or topic doesn't truly help people and companies improve, we're not going to get behind that, obviously. And if you're stone cold broke and you're looking for some miracle, some Hail Mary kind of program, you can't even pay the rent this month, there is no get-rich-quick nonsense in this program. There's no get-rich-quick nonsense that we believe in. This is a get-rich-smart and a get-rich-right kind of program. So if you're looking for the get-rich-quick stuff, sorry, that is not what we do. On the other hand, this is for you if you are serious, decisive, and committed. And those are three really important words. Serious, decisive, meaning you can make decisions quickly and effectively. You can take coaching and direction well, and you're committed to the outcomes. And you're serious. You're seriously focused on making this happen. Doesn't matter if you started speaking or you're a seasoned pro. We've worked with people at all ends of the spectrum. Whether you've got your niche or message nailed or not. A lot of folks say, well, David, I'm not ready because my message isn't really dialed in. I haven't decided on my niche or my target market. That's what we can help you with on the call. So there's no such thing as too early. There's no such thing as too advanced. Whether you're in this full-time or planning your escape, whether you've gotten a few paid speaking gigs or lots, if you're willing to follow a proven process to ramp up revenue and you take mentorship and direction well, this call is for you. And most important, if you want to put another 10K to 20K in your pocket over the next 60 to 90 days and build a predictable flow of clients and cash long-term, I would invite you to book a call at doitmarketing.com/call. So the reason that we're doing this is we're going to work with you to craft a game plan to hit your income goals for the next 12 months, starting this month, and attract the exact clients that you want to work with. The cost of these strategy sessions is absolutely free. We know that you might want our help to implement your plan. If so, we may invite you to work with us and we may not. It depends on where you are, depends on how coachable you are during that strategy session. It depends on whether we feel you can really benefit from our help or not. Because like you, we can't afford to have unsuccessful clients. We want to make sure that you will pick up the ball, run with the ball, not be human spam, not do the goofy, easy stuff that's like rote and repeat nonsense, and that you'll take the higher level strategies that we give you and you will be successful. Either way, whether we decide to invite you in or not, it's the most valuable 45 minutes that you'll invest to grow your speaking-driven business and get real results. So I wouldn't wait. I would jump on that calendar link and that application link right now. doitmarketing.com/call. I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to clear my throat, and then we're into Q&A. So if you have a question about anything we talked about, including why my throat gets dry, I took the red eye back from Los Angeles. So my lungs are full of airplane air, which is probably something to do with it. But put your question in the question box. Anything about today's teaching, anything about how you are going to implement some of these strategies, some of these tactics, some of these mindset shifts, some of these specific marching orders, and I am here to help. So go ahead and type the questions in the question box. I see some questions flew by earlier. I will pop in there, and I'm just going to open that up here after I take a quick sip. So feel free to type in your question, and we will start to knock them out in the order that they came in. Yeah, that airplane air is just killing me. And then, of course, on the airplane, you do all the open mouth sleeping. That's always fun, like like that. And yes, the sound effects are free. The sound effects are free. All right. So I'm getting a whole bunch of thank yous, and so you're welcome. Lynn, great to see you. Dwayne, great to see you. Dwayne, looks like you've already booked a call, so that's awesome. Great job. Chris is asking, is there a place to find out the fee structure of signing up to work with you? Well, so here's the deal. No, because we're not even sure if we can help you yet. So the best place to have that exploratory conversation is to book a call. On that call, if we both feel it's a fit, there's a whole bunch of different financing options, and we can cross that bridge when we come to it. But, I'm not really here to sell you guys a program. You really, really, really have to internalize this in your own business as well. I'm not here to sell you a program. I'm not here to pitch you on, hire us, work with us, give us money. We're going to solve all your problems. This is about fit. This is about, do you qualify for us? Do we qualify for you? Are we going to deliver the goods, and are you going to do the work? Because like I said at the top of this call, this was a fantastic webinar. This is some of my best stuff. I know it's fantastic because we've done it in 2017 and 2016 and 2015. It's kind of our biggest, most successful webinar because it sets the stage for the whole following year. And I always get fantastic, amazing emails and Facebook messages and even handwritten notes that people send to my office about this webinar. I'm here to walk the walk. So, Chris, I love your question. I appreciate your enthusiasm. My job today is to deliver value and invite you to a conversation on if and how we might be able to help you. So if I've offered the value and you're asking, well, gee, this is great, can I benefit from this? Let's get you on a call with the team when you go to doitmarketing.com/call. And the purpose of that call is to give you some specific guidance, because obviously with, 150 people on this call, we couldn't give specific guidance to all 150 people. On your one-on-one strategy session, it is all about you. And if you want our help, we can talk about what that looks like and what the options are and how that works. And there are multiple options, so there's no magic number that I'm hiding from you. Let's see where we are after the call. So go ahead and jump on that scheduling link, doitmarketing.com/call. And I think you'll have a very, very productive conversation about your specific business, your exact questions, your exact situation. Because remember, people are coming in from all different, they have all different backgrounds, all different levels of sophistication. Some people have an amazing website and fantastic video and a great, well-defined topic and a best-selling book. And that's a whole different story than someone that's starting on square zero. No website, no video, no topic, no niche, no titles, no keynotes, no nothing. And we build all of that up from zero. So it really depends if you're going from 0 to 60 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour, or 100 miles an hour into hyperspace. And those are very different set of challenges. And we've worked with people, of course, many, many people in all three of those buckets. All right, next question, and feel free to type them in. I'm just kind of scrolling back here because they were coming in fast and furious. What is the bare minimum brand I need to have built to start selling speaking? Ah, fantastic. So that's Monica's question. The bare minimum brand. So I'll give you the bare minimum assets. I actually don't believe in the word brand or branding. There's a section of my Do It Marketing book called Branding is BS. So as soon as you say the word brand to me, my mind goes to that chapter, but that's okay. But minimum viable assets is you have to have a decent website. You have to have a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that shows your topics and your programs, and more importantly, the outcomes of hiring you for those topics and those programs. And you have to have a prospect list of the 20 prospects that I challenged you to have, right? The 20 prospects, decision makers at 20 corporations, associations, groups, or conferences where you want to speak at. So do you have to have a full-blown, 50-page, amazing fireworks coming off the top website? No. Do you have to have a $25,000, sizzle reel with all kinds of pyrotechnics and you being shown on giant stages in front of 20,000 people? No. Because remember, the relevance, the value, the impact, the result, and the outcome is what they're buying. So that's why you need to have the website that is filled with value, impact, relevance, and outcome. That's why you have to have the program sheet also filled with value, impact, relevance, and outcome. And then you have to find prospects that have that problem. So learning to speak prospect language about prospect problems is one of the things that we constantly teach and coach our clients to do. It's not easy, but once you get it, the floodgates totally open. Because at that point, you're not selling what you want to sell. You're helping them buy what they want to buy. So Monica, I would recommend hopping on a call with the team and use that same booking link, doitmarketing.com/call. And then that's a great, great question about, what's the, do I have to build all these assets first, then go to the marketplace? Here's the other reason, Monica, and really everyone. Here's the other reason you don't want to do that. Let's say you spend $25,000 on this state-of-the-art website. You have all these brochures and PDFs and electronic documents created. You have no idea whether that messaging and that positioning resonates with your prospect. So that's literally done backwards, right? Build it and they will come. You need to have conversations with your target market, and they will help you shape the content for the talk, for the speaking, for the coaching, for the training, for the consulting, because you don't have the answer. The client has the answer. And then a preponderance of clients that you talk to, once you start doing that pattern recognition that I was talking about, patterns will emerge of, oh, that's what they're finding difficult about leadership. Or that's what they really want to implement around customer service. Or that's really where they're stuck around team building. Or that's really the big presentation skills challenge that they have. So you can't let the tail wag the dog. You start building all these assets in a vacuum, not knowing and not having reached out to your target market to figure out what they want, what they need, where they are, right? Putting your finger on the pulse of the industry, you have very little chance of hitting that target. So the mantra, Monica, is it's very hard to hit a target that you cannot see. And so I would do it totally backwards. I would do the research, do the vetting, do the competitive scan, do all the things that we do with our clients. And that's what lets you build the website. And that's what lets you build the one-pager. And that's what lets you zero in on the exact right, best, most relevant prospects. So many people teach this the wrong way, and it makes me crazy. It really, really, really makes me crazy. So Teresa would be on this call with me, our managing director and head coach. She's actually in midair, flying back from our speaker video summit that we were doing in Los Angeles. Otherwise, she would be here. Morgan is here, of course, behind the scenes, manning all the technology, or womaning all the technology, I guess I should say. And we talk about this with our clients all the time, that do not let the tail wag the dog. Do the market research, do the vetting and validation step before you build the $25,000 website or invest $50,000 in some crazy video or build some $100,000 online course or licensing program. So many people do this backwards. They build it and they figure out, well, who's going to buy it? I want you to figure out, what do people want to buy, and then go build that. What are people already spending money on, and how are you better, cooler, faster, smarter, different? And you show up and they're like, oh, this is exactly what we want. This is exactly what we've been looking for. And they'll say, Monica, I read your website. I saw you on LinkedIn. I read that article. I felt like you were talking to me. That's what relevance means. And you don't dial that in by, I have a sexy website. I have a sexy one sheet. I have a sexy video that's generic and vanilla and doesn't speak to the exact target market that I want to own and dominate and serve and help. So I would encourage you to book a call at doitmarketing.com/call and get all of that good stuff dialed in so that we can help you do that right. Monica's asking another great question about what might the right fee be for the first time. Well, remember, there's no first time. So when you go to the doctor for, open heart surgery, if it's their first open heart surgery, what's the fee? It's the going rate. If you hire a brand new accountant to do your tax return, you can hire an accountant that's done 30,000 tax returns, but no matter what, you're going to pay the going rate, whether it's their first one or their 30,000th one. The number that I shared with you on today's training is $4,500. $4,500 is the speaker trainer minimum wage. Think of it that way. Speaker trainer minimum wage, meaning if you charge less, they will think less of your expertise. You will actually undermine the perception of your expertise if you charge less than $4,500. All right, let me just filter through here. We got a couple more. So Chris's question we answered. Dwayne, you've already booked a call. That's great. And what else? Thank you from Lynn. So Lynn, you're welcome. PJ, you're welcome. Great webinar. Thank you. Eugene, thank you. Elena says, what's the hour breakdown of a full speaking day? So we never charge hourly. I wouldn't reverse engineer that to an hourly rate. I don't believe in taximeter pricing. So Elena, your question is like, how much for an hour? How much for 2 hours? How much for 4 hours? How much for 6 hours? I don't believe in that. I believe in single stream pricing, meaning that I can come out to you for 20 minutes and it's 15 grand. I can come out to you for all day and it's 15 grand. So my speaking fee is 15 grand. I can come out to you for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It's 15 grand. Because here's what happens. When you book, especially in training, this really happens. The trainers on the call know what I'm talking about. Okay, it's a full day training. How much is it? 15 grand. Well, David, can you do a half day? How much is a half day? That's 9 grand. Well, can we do just 2 hours? How about like 6,500 for 2 hours? Can you do 1 hour for 3,000? Can you do a half hour for 1,500? They start playing the limbo game, right? You know how to play limbo? It's how low can you go? How low can you go? So I don't play that game. I don't tie my value to the hours. It's a flat rate. What you could do is day one and then multiple days. So let's say that it's $15,000 for day one, $10,000 for each additional day. So you want me to come and do a 2-day seminar, 2-day event? It's $15K for day one, $10K for second day. So it's a $25K gig. If you're, whatever, you can do it higher, lower, whatever, $7,000 for day one, $5,000 for every day thereafter. So 3-day gig, okay, great. I'll come and do a 3-day program. $7,000 for day one, 5 plus 5 is 10. Now I'm charging you $17,000 for the 3-day program. So think in terms of a day off your calendar, because that's really what it is. It's a day off your calendar. If I'm in Seattle at 9 a.m., I'm not going to be speaking in Boston at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? That day is out of my inventory. So going back to your price times quantity equals total mathematics problem, figure out what's that number that sustains the revenue model that you want, and then you're in business. All right. So Shannon says, thank you very much. Yes. And Brian says, you coach on development of the content of the programs you mentioned, such as coaching. So yes, that is not the main focus of what we do. But certainly once people are in our mentoring program and they say, well, I want to get more into coaching. I want to get more into consulting. What does a consulting package look like, given this is my expertise? We can certainly dig into that. And we have dug into that very, very extensively, even to the point where we had a keynote speaker who was a $15,000 keynote speaker. She started getting requests for consulting. She had no idea how to even do consulting, didn't really even knew what that word meant. And I said to her, I said, well, so you do these speaking gigs, yeah, and you've done some training, yeah. Well, could we package together some training and speaking over a defined period of time and covering a defined number of topics and package up 6 full-day programs with some videos, with some email, with some online support, with some group calls, with some one-on-one calls? That's your consulting package. Because remember, they're not buying the stuff. They don't care what the stuff is, Brian. They care about the outcomes. So if we decide to work together, I'm hoping that you're going to book a call at doitmarketing.com/call. Part of what we do is that investable opportunity development. So how to market it, how to sell it, how to monetize it, and for the things that don't exist, kick around some ideas to help you develop it. And what a lot of our clients have done, and I'm very proud of these success stories and these testimonials, is they sell it first and they build it second. Now that makes some people nervous, but that's true proof of concept. If you've already sold it for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, trust me, you will have a great time building it, because now you know that there's an awesome client waiting on the other end, and you will do your very best to help them get the great outcome. All right. So another few thank yous. So David Reagan, thank you. Carrie, you're welcome. Monica, you're welcome. Trev, you're welcome. Oh, Chris. So we'll close on this one because I have to run. You have to run. We all have to run. Go ahead and book a call. The calendar's still open at doitmarketing.com/call, and make sure that you don't miss your time to book a call with the team to see how we can dial this in for you specifically. Are there key aspects or words you think belong on business cards? So yes, there are. And are there some definite no-nos is the second part of that question. Yes, there are. So I have a YouTube video called Business Card Kung Fu. If you go onto YouTube and you search for Business Card Kung Fu, you will find it. And the reason I call it Kung Fu, it's about flipping a business card forwards and backwards, like you're, doing a karate chop and you have the business card between your first and second finger, and it's like, wah, 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 I'm flipping the card back and forth like a pair of nunchucks. I really don't like titles like speaker, author, consultant. Trust me, if you're a speaker, author, consultant, they already know that. It's like I'm a speaker, author, consultant, because what you're doing is you're commoditizing yourself on your business card. You are substituting the value that you deliver with the mechanisms and the methods that you distribute that expertise through. So I definitely don't believe in that. Contact information on the card. Name. You don't need a title. You're not the president of anything. You're not the CEO of anything. You are not the owner of anything. You are a thought-leading independent expert. You have no title. Let go of the title. Titles make you look silly. When you're a one-person company and you say CEO, it says, oh, really? Chief Executive Officer, chief of what? President, oh, really? What do you preside over? So don't worry about that. Complete contact information. Reason to connect with you. So download this free report, get this checklist, download this tool. There needs to be a call to action on the business card so that the people that you meet in 3D have a website resource that they can't wait to get back to their office, or they're doing it right there on their phone. They're downloading something from you in exchange for their email address. The other big mistake, the other no-no, and you'll see a lot more in the Business Card Kung Fu video if you choose to watch that, is don't let the back of your card stay blank. If the back of your card is blank, you're wasting 50% of your business card real estate. So I'm so glad that you asked this business card question. Some people think it's trivial. Some people think, oh, no one has a business card anymore. Trust me, thought-leading experts that are charging $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, they have business cards. they have business cards. So you want a business card, you want the card to look good, you want the card to look expensive, you want the card to look like a peer of any economic buyer that you might put that card into their hands. So on the note of business card kung fu, and if you want to book a call, that calendar link is still open right now as we speak. doitmarketing.com/call. Book a time, complete the quick questionnaire. Our team can't wait to help you. I'm wishing you amazing, incredible things for the rest of this month, the rest of this quarter, the rest of this year, all into next year. I hope we have the chance to work together in some way, shape, or form. You guys are fantastic and fabulous. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks for being on today.